Yeah. Now it's there. It's
Okay.
pop up. Yeah.
So the beginning things seems to be very those are already known things for you, but anyways, it's my job to tell you the basics as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen clearly, or is there any
Yeah,
difficulty?
very clear, very clear.
So before giving any introduction about any programming language, ABAP is part of SAP, that you are already aware of it, right?
Yeah.
Right. So SAP is an ERP product that also you are already aware of it, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong.
No.
Among many ERPs, why you are going for SAP? That's one question which I will arise. Okay. And among
Yeah,
many modules of SAP.
Yeah, actually, I have brief experience working in, other than Clarify, though that is not exactly an ERP package, but it has to be integrated with a legacy system. But I worked briefly
That
on
will definitely
Oracle.
helps.
Yeah, but I worked a brief period because of the necessity of the requirement of the project on Oracle apps.
Okay.
So that's a full-blown ERP package. But still I see, still I see the difference in the sense that when I need to write any sort of package, any sort of program or report, I need to depend 100% on SQL statement. And if the SQL statement, which is a kind of it could be a giant nested SQL query.
Right.
And if that giant nested SQL query fails at any point because of the database change, that immediately I invite a failure.
Right.
So that's a big difference with SAP, because we are using OpenSQL and we are simply not bothered on the underlying database.
Right. Okay. So here I will talk about among many ERPs why we are going for the SAP, among many modules of SAP why you have chosen, or the reason behind you are choosing ABAP. Okay, I will touch that point initially. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So let's begin with, in any company, okay, in general we come across with different kinds of departments like HR, finance, warehouse, production, purchasing, shipping, sales and distribution, like some kind of, okay. What is the job of HR? They will generally recruit the people, right? They will generally recruit the employees. What about the role of a finance department? Right. What about the role of a finance? If they require any products to be purchased, they will purchase, as well as they will pay the salaries to the employees. These are all the finance related, which is nothing but all the money related operations will be monitored by the finance department in a company, right?
Right.
Coming to the warehouse department, in every company there should be a storage place where they can keep their items, isn't it? So warehouse is nothing but it's just like a storage location. Okay. Coming to the production department, what they will do, they have materials at the warehouse, they will collect it and they will prepare a final product, which is nothing but you can compare it with a factory. What they will do, factory, they will collect the raw materials, and in the factory they will manufacture the final product. Does it make sense? That is the job of a production department. Coming to the purchasing department, what are the raw materials which are required to prepare the final product? Those raw materials will be purchased, and whoever raise the quote, all the purchasing department, as per their needs, they will raise the quote and they will inform the same to the finance department. Boss, these are the products which we require, these are the raw materials which we require, and for each and every product I have collected the quotations, and for each every quotation this is the amount which they are estimated. Okay.
Right.
So basically purchasing department will do the job. Coming to the shipping department, suppose if you have, this is very generic, okay, but I just want to generalize it. Okay. Shipping department, what they will do, suppose you ordered a product on the e-commerce website like Flipkart. Okay. You will provide the delivery address, right, to which the product has to be handed over. The shipping department will take care of where the delivery address or the ship to party and the sold to party address, all these things are maintained. Okay.
Right.
coming to the sales and distribution, I have a product where the marketing guy will tell you, boss, this is the product, like we have different types of, what do you call, I have different types of keyboards from Logitech, Zebronics, Microsoft, where at TVS, there are different kinds of companies I have, okay?
Yeah.
Marketing people will tell you only that information, but sales and distribution people, what they will do, they want to sell the product, they will tell you what are the positives and what are the futures in addition to that, in a better way, right? Their job is to sell the product as well as distribute across the locations, okay? Which is nothing but you can call it as marketing, okay?
Right.
So all these departments which are in general, you are already aware of all these things, right? So in general, in every company, all this, or else let me just put it like this, these are the companies, these are the departments which are part and parcel of each and every company. Whether it's a small firm or a large firm, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
So for example, you went to a computer store where your requirement is you need to purchase a desktop computer. I'm again repeating you, I want to purchase a desktop computer in a traditional way where I have a monitor, CPU, keyboard, mouse, speakers, individual things, okay? What I will do, I will just go to the computer store and I will ask the marketing people over there, boss, I need so and so things, okay?
Yeah.
What they will do, they will check with their warehouse department whether do we have the product available or not, right? Suppose a warehouse, in the sense you can assume like their racks or something, their warehouse, okay?
Yeah.
The items which they have kept, that you can call it as for the time being as a warehouse, okay, or a storage location, okay? If they have, they will give it to you, sir, this is the product which you want and this will cost this much of amount. They will tell you that information, right?
Yeah.
Suppose, assume the worst case, you went to the store but the product is not available in the warehouse as well, okay? Then what you will do, the warehouse department will internally check with the production department whether do we have the products available with you. No, assume like they don't have. Then what they will do, they will check with the purchasing department, boss, send me the raw material so that I will prepare the final product and I will place it under the warehouse and warehouse people will deliver to the customer.
Right.
Purchasing department people also, like they are also facing a very typical issues. They don't have the raw materials. What they have to do, they need to purchase the products from different vendors, like from Logitech, they need to purchase 100 keyboards in bulk, right?
Yeah, if it is internal, they can purchase, let's say if it is a Target, they will search in other Target store if the product is available.
Right. That is what I just want to tell you, the background, complete picture of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens? They don't have the raw materials. They will purchase. They have to purchase from vendors. Okay. To purchase the product, they need the money. They have to interact with the finance department. Right. So finance department, once they issue the money to them, they will purchase the products, and purchasing department will give that products to the production department and they will prepare the final product and they will place that product into the warehouse, and from the warehouse the marketing people will collect the product and they will send it to the shipping department. Finally invoice gets generated. This is how the broad range of the general product shipping allocation happens in a company, right? Suppose in between, assume there is any discrepancies between any two of the folks. What happens? There is a delay, and if it's a manual work, what happens? There is a lot of paperwork involved, lot of time consuming, right? You are not sure about the accuracy of the data which you are getting finally. All these tasks typically we can call it as those are the disadvantages. As an end user, what you will do, as and when if you go to the computer store, there is a person sitting over there with the system. You ask Logitech keyboard, for example. He will check in the computer, Logitech computer in the search bar. Yes, if the product is available, what they will do? boss get the product, give it to the sir, give it to the like end user. That is the simple
Right.
and very fast forward approach, right?
Yeah.
That is what I am trying to tell you. If there is a system which suffices our requirement to integrate within all the departments,
Yes.
that would be great. My requirement will be fulfilled, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So to communicate from one department to another department in an effective approach, I am telling you, I am stressing on the word effective approach. Everyone will
Yes.
plan, right? But in the effective way we can do so, then only our business will be in profits and will be more popular among our competitors. Does it
Yeah. We
make
can
sense?
save vital time.
Exactly. Perfect. You use the keyword perfectly. Right. So for that we need a software to automate all these tasks. Right?
Right. Yeah.
That is called as the ERP product, which is nothing but the enterprise resources planning. A software has been developed. Okay?
Right.
There are different kinds of ERP products which are available in the market. Let me
Yeah.
tell you each and every one in a clear crystal way so that you don't have to erase the question. Okay? But you are open to the questions, okay? It's not like you don't have any questions.
Mm-hmm. No,
Okay?
no, no.
So
Yes,
ERP
yes,
stands for Enterprise Resources Planning. Let me tell you, enterprise is nothing but an organization, right?
Yes.
Coming to the resources, what are the resources a company need in general?
There could be many manpower, money,
Exactly. Machinery.
human capital. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Good. And materials are also required, right? Which is nothing
Yes.
but, for example, assume like a simple general, what do you call, a simple office where it consists of some tables, chairs, right? Some sofa sets, at
Yeah.
least some minimum criteria, which is nothing but the materials, and machinery, which is nothing but you can call it as computers, lights, everything. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
UPS for power supply, right?
Yeah.
Money.
Right.
To purchase all these things, money is required, and if you have any employees working under you, you need to provide them salary, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So all these are resources. Does it make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. And we have something called as planning.
Hmm.
You will do the planning, I will do the planning, and every one of us do the planning. But
Excellent.
why not everyone is getting succeeded in the market? Do you have any answer
For
for that?
instance, I can tell you like the scenario you just now described, talking about sales and distribution. So sorry. So you didn't bring into picture CRM. So for instance, if I would like to make the company, Tom, Dick, Harry's company, a successful company or successful venture, I can tell them, or I can suggest them that before sales and distribution, there is a small cycle which often neglected, but not of course in US. No, not of course in US because I worked there. So if you perform that small cycle, not only that you can generate more revenue, but the things will be faster. So CRM comes into play there. You do
That's why I mentioned
market.
you. These are the few departments, some of the departments. I haven't neglected CRM and SRM. Okay, there are a number of departments. If there is a, if
No,
that is the case,
that is completely fine.
there are right.
Yeah, no, that is not my contention. That is, you are perfectly right. In this quiz small time, it's not possible to cover everything. What I'm trying to say, planning. When you mention planning, so I'm just giving an example.
Right. Perfect
Giving
example.
an example. So that's one thing. Yeah, and another is, depending on my cash flow, I can plan for my target. I can budget.
Right.
So that again comes under planning.
So which is nothing but you are doing in a very effective way, right?
Yeah.
You are doing all the pros and costs calculations, everything. So if I do so, then this much of profits I will get, and these are the cons I have. Okay, so you have the estimations of the track of things which you're gonna do or which will gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
So everybody will plan, but how well you are utilizing the resources you have. I have only $100 of the amount I have in my pocket, but I need to go from one place to the destination, one source to the destination. I can go by air, I can go by bus, I can go by transit, I can go by rail, I can go by any other means ship. So, well utilization in the sense, you need to choose on priority. right?
Hmm.
If I don't have any priority, I can go by train, I can go by ship. It's my choice, right? If there is a priority,
Right.
you will obviously go for the plane. So whatever the resources which you have to utilize it in a well manner. If not, what happens? Crisis will occur. Automatically a recession comes into picture,
Hmm.
right? It
Yeah.
all depends on the how well you are utilizing the resources. At bad times also, country has to survive depends on the stock of money which they have, right?
Yes. Hmm.
To run the government or in a proper way. Does it make
Yeah.
sense? It
Yeah.
all
Credit.
depends on
Everyone takes credit. Yeah.
yes. It all depends on the well utilization of the resources. That is called the effective planning. Okay.
Right.
So I have many business activities and I have to plan them accordingly in my company. Okay, it's not like going to the office and coming back home. There are
Yeah.
many business activities and we need to maintain and plan in a very effective way so that company will be succeeded and we can get earn profits. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So as I mentioned previously that a software which is used to maintain and plan all the business activities of a company, which is nothing but the ERP
Right.
software, okay, which is nothing but the ERP software in the sense enterprise resource planning software, okay. So in general, what are the business activities which we will do, how many customers we have, how many vendors we have, and what are the materials which are available with us, how many sales orders which are created and how many are delivered, how much profit which we are earned for this fiscal, and what is the loss for this quarter. And you can observe frequently for every company they will announce the quarter results, right?
Yes.
So, and how many employees they have currently, and how many of them are in leave, and what is the provident fund of the employees which they are carry forwarding every month, and do they have generated invoice for that?
Yeah.
How many plants we have, and what are the stocks which are available currently with us, and if there are any damaged products, how many out of the total bulk, right? These are all the, I mean to say, these are some of the business activities which each and every employee has to maintain and plan either directly and indirectly in a company, right? All these operations can be monitored or maintained and planned in a software which is nothing but the ERP software, okay? Now does it make sense at the broader range of what is an ERP?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And this software is there to optimize all my resources.
Perfect. Not only optimizing resources, there are many different advantages which you come across. You can save a lot of time, which is very, very important, right? Okay. Data accuracy is very good. So you don't have to bother about the redundancy of the data. Does it make sense?
Absolutely. And real-time, updation, that is the foremost thing which I require across the department. So that's again another thing.
Right. Okay. So like this, I have many ERP softwares. Okay.
Yeah.
What is an ERP software? We just generally discuss that it's a software which will maintain and plan all the activities, right? But what an ERP software contain? Right? A software in the sense there should be some things which will be helpful for you, right?
Right.
Does it
to
make
run
sense?
my business. Yeah.
For example, if you consider, right, okay, so which contains some predefined tables and programs, predefined, already defined. So if you require it, you can make use of it simply. No need to create from scratch. It saves a lot of time, right? And predefined programs, if my customer requires suffices the table which I have or the program which I have, then done. My job is done. Almost I saved a lot of time.
Absolutely.
Right? So basically the job of ERP softwares is it contains some predefined tables and programs. Okay?
Right.
There are many ERP softwares which are available in the market currently. One is BAN, Asium. Okay?
Right.
So 90% of the tables, I'm just telling you at a broader range, okay? So the tables and the programs which are benefiting for the only customers and the vendors, okay? Which I means to say that, do you think customers and vendors are the only people which are interacting in a company? No, right?
No.
If you consider example of a supermarket, there is a storekeeper, which will what do you call, generate the invoice for the products which we purchased, and we are the customer, they are the vendor. And BAN is the software which is limited to functionality like customers and vendors, limited to the just for example like supermarkets. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. Next, coming to the one more software, namely Ramco. Here the tables, some of the tables and the programs which they have developed in their ERP software, it is benefiting only for the finance department. Do you think finance is the only department? If you have money, everything will be done? Do you think, until and unless if you have the quality of the employees, do you think if you have the money, everything will get done? No, right?
No.
So, right. So Ramco is also not sufficing my requirement, right?
Okay.
Next.
You want to mean that the other ERP tools you were just mentioning, they don't have that application?
Because of the limitations what they have, and why we are going for the current version. See, assume like I will just give you a simple example. Why we are going for the Apple 6 instead of Apple 4S?
Yeah.
Apple developed Apple 4S version, but why Apple have like a necessity to develop the Apple 6, to manufacture Apple 6?
It will be with more
Does it make sense? Right. Yeah. Futures is important. There are some limitations in the previous version and they are updating or upgrading their futures, right? And they are adding some additional functionalities and everything which is nothing but overcoming the limitations and implementing a new thing, right? So that is how happens. There are many ERP products which are available, which is having some pros and cons as well. I am not telling that everything is gone. Right. If it is gone in the sense, there is we shouldn't have any necessity to invest a lots of time and money on that, right?
Yeah.
So I mean to say that why we are specifically going for SAP. That is the reason which I just want to highlight before discussing about SAP. Okay. Next, we have one more ERP, namely PeopleSoft. They are good at recruiting people. HR module, they are very good. But do you think recruiting people is done without the help of any machines or the like materials you have? No, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That needs to be again integrated with others.
Yes. Next, Oracle Apps. Yes, I do agree. Oracle Apps is very good for finance. But again, I'm telling you, finance is not the only department. So I can't run only with the help of the finance people. I do require the people from all the departments.
One little disruption. Let me tell you also at the same time, being a neutral person. I mean, since I already worked on Oracle Apps for a brief time, the feature which I find in Oracle Apps really great, and I do not see in my limited knowledge of SAP, is the flex films.
Okay.
So if you segmentize your entire business, you know, in asset liability and other than these four, although everything comes under these four, but what I would like to say that you can go horizontally, not just vertically. You can just add on the segments in your text field, which I don't see in SAP. Completely FI point of view.
Have you completely worked on SAP before?
No. That's what I'm saying. In SAP limited knowledge, I don't see any.
So what are the current knowledge which you assume to be like Oracle having? Yes, as you mentioned, I will take your point that it is good. I also mentioned the same. But as I mentioned that, again, finance is not the only department, and there are a lot more things which a company has to involve. A business has to be succeeded in that. There are a lot more things has to be inculcated, right? So, whereas coming to the SAP, it is one of the ERP products. I'm telling you, one of the ERP products like BAN, Ramco, PeopleSoft, Oracle Apps. It is one of the ERP softwares which are available in the market. Okay. There are. I can say that SAP is strong at all of the departments, even though like there are, of course, for every product there should be a con. Okay, it doesn't mean that 100% perfect which you can't see in anywhere in the world, in any of them, right?
Have you
There are
have you seen this JD Edward by any means?
no, I haven't. I didn't got the chance
Okay.
to look at
All
that.
right.
Okay, so
All right. All right.
you can include that as well if you want. See, that is also an ERP product, right? So like kind
Right.
of SAP these days, it is not only used for small scale industries but also the top MNCs. Okay,
Right. Hmm.
it's a very costly software. Not only like top MNCs are using, even the small scale upcoming industries are also using the same. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
why they are choosing SAP in the sense it supports every business application. I am telling you. Okay,
Hmm.
if you come up with a requirement, you have solution in SAP. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for that reason, since it suffices the requirement of every business application, which is nothing but it belongs to a various modules, I mean to say, right? It supports various modules.
Yeah.
Estimated to be around 45 plus modules in SAP we have. Okay? And it's a very high cost software. And coming to the technical products, there we have inbuilt to be SAP having its own technical products. Okay?
Yes.
They don't have to dependent on any other softwares. They have their own products. Okay? For the purpose of like middleware or anything to develop any web application, they have their own technical products. Okay?
Exactly.
For that reason, SAP is not depending upon any non-SAP softwares. Okay?
Yeah.
You assume that now you consider what I highlighted the term non-SAP softwares, which is nothing but the non-ERP softwares. What are the non-ERP softwares we have? Oracle. There you need to create the database tables. There is no single table exists.
Yeah.
You need to create the tables and you need to maintain the tables on your own.
Right.
Whereas coming to the VB, which is nothing but the Visual Basic, where you have to develop the programs. There are no predefined programs which are available for you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So those are
right.
so in that case, I mean to say that SAP not depending upon any non-ERP softwares. Okay, does it make sense? So let's discuss among the many ERP softwares.
Yeah. No, but you can make interface with SAP, right? I mean, it depends. In some
Yes.
way, it yeah.
Okay.
Like XI, through XI you can make interface with other.
Yeah. Okay. So you understood that why we are going for the SAP among many ERP products. Okay. Now your intention is to why we are going for the ABAP and what is the reason behind going for the ABAP in SAP among many modules. Okay. Now I will cover that. So SAP stands for, don't call it as SAP, it's SAP individually.
Right.
Call it as Systems, Applications and Products and Data Processing. Do you know the background reason of it?
Right. I know those
Okay,
about
good.
the German engineers who broke away from IBM and formed their own company. All those details I know. Yeah.
Good. So their main intention, or I can say that their main objective is to develop a business software which has to be integrated with all the departments. That is their objective. Okay.
Yeah.
So
and what is amazing, to be very honest with you, Avnesh, I mean, what is amazing to me, that coming from the time of mainframe, such a long journey, and now they are offering OOPS. I mean, that is unthinkable. At one day, just a data processing, maybe some program units doing it in a mainframe environment, and now you can write a Java program, I mean Java lookalike program in ABAP. Unthinkable.
Yes. Hello?
Yeah.
So like it's all about development, we call it as, right?
Right.
From each and every step. It's all like that. So that is what the companies are succeeding in the sense they understood their their drawbacks and they are come up with a good approach than the previous version. Okay.
Right.
So that is what happening over there. So SAP AG is the company and they have released the first version, namely SAP R2 with the ERP softwares. Okay, here R2 stands for real-time two-tier architecture. Okay, we'll discuss about the architectures part. Okay, for the timing, just keep it like that. Okay, and later on, like kind of Apple example which I told you, previous version 4s, 5, 5s, 6 and 6. Okay, so because of the limitations, and they are added some additional functionalities, and they come up with a new version in the R3, which is nothing but the real-time three-tier architecture. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I already mentioned that if you have any type of requirement, SAP will suffice that. Okay, so SAP, I call it as a business software. It's not a normal software. It's a business software, since it deals with all the business applications in normal day-to-day business activities. Okay, so since it is integrating with all the applications running in an organization, which is nothing but all the applications, in the sense its background picture is on, depends, related to various modules, depends on the business areas which they come up with an application or the requirement. Okay, so let us state a few examples over here. We have few modules we have, generally these are the modules which are available in the market, some of them. Okay, SDMM, HR, CRM, SRM, SCM and APU. Okay, these are some of the modules which are available. Okay,
Right.
now what are the advantages of SAP we have? Okay, we understood that it is tightly integrated, that is good, but okay, it is having good integration with all the departments. From, if you consider with I told you about the background picture of a computer keyboard, right?
Yeah.
Initially, so that is what integration is required between all the departments, right? This SAP softwares will do, is very good at integration. Okay, and if you consider any programming language, I can bet, okay, they all are developed in the English language, which is an international language. Okay,
Yeah.
suppose, assume I'm a Chinese guy, I don't know English, I know only Chinese language. Okay, but I'm a giant in the market business. Okay, but I can't have to restrict myself into China, right? I have to expand my business to the whole world. Then only it is called as a multinational company, right?
True. Yeah.
Understood?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know English, or I don't know any of the other languages, then how? Right? Because of that reason, these people, these chaps, they identified the drawback of it, of the different programming languages, and they come up with a requirement called, they develop the softwares with the multilingual capability. Suppose a Chinese person can log in into with the Chinese language of the software. Understood?
Right.
Not only that, can you tell me, like, you have like almost visited many countries, yourself, some of them. Okay, so do you know all the list of currencies in the world?
Currency?
Just not for kidding you, I'm just asking you, do you know all the list of currencies in the world? No.
Not, of course not. Not all,
Not,
I
right?
mean.
Yes, exactly. So this SAP software, what happened? It is developed with multilingual capability, as well as it supports the multiple currencies as well, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that internationally US dollars has to accept. It is not like that. If it is euro, if it is yuan, if it is something like a dinar, everything has to accept. Okay. So what happens with this? If you have the multilingual capability, you can expand your business to the whole world. So that what happens? You can have the clients all over the world. So your business is in a fruitful way. Does it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, and one more thing, I call SAP as a ready-made package. Why? What is an SAP? It's an ERP product. What does an ERP contain? It contains some predefined tables and programs, right?
Exactly.
So customer come up with a requirement. If I have the requirement in my existing database, which is nothing but either of the tables or programs, then what I will do? I will just make use of that template and deliver to the end user. That's it.
Yeah.
My job is done, right? Ready-made package is nothing but whatever the customizations which are required as part of the customer requirement, which can be done in a simplified way than developing from scratch onwards when compared to Java and .NET, which they will usually has to develop the applications from scratch, right?
True.
So ready-made package, I talk in that context. Okay, and well, can you run? You are already worked on .NET, right?
Yeah.
Can you like work it out the same on Android, what do you call, sorry, a Macintosh or Ubuntu or Sun Solaris?
No, it's
Can
the
you?
platform
Right?
dependent. Yeah.
You knew it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But SAP is not like that.
Yeah.
If you install it in Macintosh, Ubuntu, Sun Solaris or any other software, any other operating system, it will work, which is nothing but it's
Okay.
platform independent.
Right.
So these are the these are the advantages which I can simply call it as it's a good ERP product. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. And one more thing I told here that SAP is integrating all these modules by creating its own centralized database. I told you it is own having its technical products. Okay. For all the applications, whatever the applications, it will maintain its own centralized database. So it will no need to has to dependent upon any other applications. So
Right.
till this point of time, everything is fine. But where does this bullshit ABAP comes into the picture? Right?
Yeah. Because
I
everything is
didn't
built
even
over ABAP.
I didn't even spell about ABAP till this point of time.
Right.
Right?
Right. Right.
So here comes into the picture. I told you ready-made package, but the customization can be done with minimum efforts. How you can customize a product in SAP, an application in SAP? Yes, there comes into the ABAP. You can customize the applications according to the end user requirement by using ABAP.
Yeah.
Understood? That is the
Yeah,
reason. If you want any customizations, ABAP is the only programming language. I'm telling you, it's business programming language. It's not a normal programming language. Okay, it's a
And
business.
also SAP itself built all the modules with the language called ABAP.
Right. That is what I'm telling you. If you want to perform any operations, this is the one which will be the key point. So for that reason, ABAP is nothing but it's a business. You can ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming Language. Okay.
Right. Right.
So we can call ABAP or ABAP by 4. What is this 4? 4 stands for fourth generation programming language. We have different types of generations. Okay. Low level, high level. Okay. Like kind of. Right. Next, we already mentioned that integration between the one module to the another module is very good, which is nothing but tightly integrated, so that the data is up to date at all the times. So I can tell you the same with a simple example. Okay. Like, have you ever booked the flight tickets online?
Yeah.
Right? You often do. Right? Suppose.
Yes.
Let me just book 2 tickets for me. Okay. If I do so, currently 10 seats are available. Okay, in the flight, in the economic class, I assume. Okay.
Right.
So if I allocate or if I book the 2 seats, then what would be the end result? What are the remaining seats which are available?
8.
Right? Does it will update immediately or it will update 2 days after?
Yeah, immediately.
Right? So which is nothing but the data is up to date or it's not, it has to be dependent on any other else. No, right?
No.
The data is up to date at all the times, right?
Right.
So everything I mean to say that because of the integration between all the departments, the changes which you made that should be reflected across the modules. Okay?
Yeah.
Understood? Does it make sense?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, and one more thing, ABAP is not a case sensitive language. Okay. So, and by the way, I forgot your name. Could you please tell me again?
Otanu is my first name, Atanu, and Banerjee is my last name.
Okay. For example, can you see my screen all right?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. So, I can write your name like this. ABAP will accept. I can write your name like this. ABAP will accept. I mean to say that it's not case sensitive, but it is space sensitive. Suppose if I assume I want to perform an addition operation. If I do so, ABAP will do syntactical error because it is space sensitive. For every operation, it has to be 1 space minimum. Understood?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So these are the rules which you need to follow. While going to the upcoming classes, I will introduce what are the programming languages, programming rules,
No, but what I observed in my brief, brief experience in SAP is it automatically changes into uppercase whenever you do something or type something. It automatically
that we can
changes.
do. That we can do. There is something called as Pretty Printer. There we have a settings where you can set your first character of the letter word as a caps, or you can set all the letters as alphabet, all the letters as capitals. That you can do. I will show you that. Okay.
Yeah.
Next, once you have a very good programming language on the ABAP, then you can work with any other modules. Because it is the module which plays a pivotal role to work with any other modules in the SAP. Understood? Yeah. So that is the reason. And coming to the systems landscape, we have 3 different types of servers in general. Okay, one is the development, quality, and the production server. Okay, the name itself, development, states that we are developing something. Whatever the developments objects which you develop, that has to be part of the development server. Once you did the development, what you can do, you can just test from your end, which is nothing but unit testing. Okay. Next, in the quality server, what they will do, functional consultants will just test the object vigorously. Okay. Coming to the last one, production server, what they will do in the live business market, they will test the objects. Understood?
Yeah.
So which is different than the production server they will do. That is about the system landscape. And once as an ABAP consultant, since ABAP is nothing but it's a programming language, I told you, right? Programming, who will do? The technical people, right?
Right.
So which is nothing but your job is to develop some objects. Okay, what are your roles in the sense, I will tell you, but for the time being as an ABAP consultant, you are working only with the development server, because your main motto of the operation is to develop the things. Okay. But you don't have generally have the access to the quality and the production server until and unless you have like a certain experience and the exposure, and the firm believes like you have the task to perform. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to perform the things, but you have the chance to work on that as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Next, we have something called as, suppose I have a live server. Okay. Suppose you think that why can't we do like this? Why can't we perform A plus B equal to C? Instead of that, why can't we do B plus A equal to C, for example? Okay. Suppose that is simple operation I'm telling you. Okay. You just think about something will work, but you are not sure whether it will succeed or not, right?
Yeah.
If you go for a toss, then if you perform those operations on the real server, then you will be fired immediately from the company, right? So your kind of research and development, which is nothing but R&D operations, you can do on a dummy server, which is called as a sandbox server. Okay, where you can perform your R&D over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Coming to the architecture part, we have something like single tier, 2 tier, and the 3 tier. I will just briefly explain these things. Okay. And like, are you getting the things, or you are just
no, it's a good to
any difficulties over there?
No, absolutely nothing. Only thing is, I don't know whether you try to write something on the notepad, because the only screen I can see is the one where it is mentioned like manufacturing company and all that. That is static screen. If you attempted to write anything on a notepad or something, that I didn't see so far.
Okay. So then I will do what I will do from the next session. We'll do it parallelly. Okay.
Okay.
So that you will be in line with me. Okay. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Just let me know if you have anything.
No, you were located in where? In US or from India?
No, currently I came to my offshore location, India itself.
I see.
Hello.
And
yes,
the meeting is conducted from US.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
For about a vacation, just we came here. So again, yeah. I hope you already knew about the work environment over there, right?
No, not really. Because
you have the things which you need to immediately go to the on-site, to the client location. You have to immediately work out the things, right?
Right. No. I particularly ProLiveTech. I don't know anything about ProLiveTech.
But I have to tell you upfront the things which I have. I'm a certified consultant. I can assure you the
Right.
type of things which I can give you. Okay?
Right.
So, and
Right.
at any point of time, you can tell me if you're not getting anything. Okay? That I will help
No,
you.
yeah, sure. No,
Okay.
that is fine. See, whatever
That
we
freedom you
discussed
have.
so far,
Okay?
this is just a brush up on my existing knowledge. So it is welcome.
Yeah.
That's no issues there.
Right, right. Good. Sounds good. So we have something called as architecture, SAP architecture. So where we have different types of architecture, single tier, two tier, and the three tier. Where in the single tier, what happens? You will do basically the front end and the back end operations. Okay.
In the
And
same.
coming to the two tier, right? Exactly. And coming to the two tier architecture, we have something called as server layer and the client layer. Okay.
Right.
So what happens? For example, in general, suppose a movie is released. Okay.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan's movie is released, for example. Okay.
Yeah.
Or else Leonardo movie is released. What happens? The huge rush at the traffic on the internet, on the website, in particular, it's huge in number, right? Or else you can take the example of Apple has been provided online booking facility for you. What happens? Everyone is accessing, falling on that Apple website, right?
Yeah.
What happens if the number of users increases? There is a huge load on the server, right? What happens? Resulting into the slowdown on the operations. The page is getting very slow, loaded, right?
Yeah.
So which is also a limitation, right?
Yeah.
It has to be accessed to everyone,
Right.
right? So it is one of the limitations which you have. Okay, if the number of clients increases, yes, I can agree there. I agree that the load on the server will also increase, but at the same time, the performance shouldn't decrease. That is the important thing which you need to. That is the important thing which you need to maintain. Keep it in mind. Okay. We have something called as three-tier architecture, where we have three different layers, namely database layer, application server layer, and the presentation server layer. Where in the database server layer, the name itself database, where you can store the data. And we have something called as application server layer. What they will do, you will execute whatever the applications which you already developed, you will simply execute those applications. That will be part of the application server layer. Coming to the presentation server layer, what they will do, this is nothing but the front end, where you will provide some input and you will be displayed some output. Right?
Yeah.
So SAP architecture refers to the three-tier architecture. Understood?
Yes.
Why? Because it is reliable because of for that reason, since it is segregated across the layers and don't come across with the server burden, and moreover there is no low, even though there is a load on the server, the performance won't get decreased. So for that reason, since after it's almost 20 to 25 years of the period which was elapsed, okay, since also thereafter we are using R3 architecture only. Okay.
Yes.
Understood? Does it make sense?
No, there are a lot of other things. I don't know whether you are going to cover this in demo or not, because I have little queries there, like single instance versus multiple instance SAP. And of course, I'm not talking about the adding, because of the load, for the load balancing. You keep on adding application server. I'm not stating that. We all know that. As a basis guy or hardware guy will do that, but where my interest lies is, I have seen so much debate over internet, whether we go for single instance SAP or multiple instance SAP. The client is, okay, let's not speak about client.
It all depends on the client. It all depends on the client.
Yeah, I'm just giving one example. Let's say the company is running its business in US. Now, the next year, 2015, it's expanding, and after expansion, it has come to APAC. Now, they have that question in front of them: should we run that APAC server in that same instance, or it will be altogether different instance? So these are kind of queries I have.
Okay, these are all depends on how at the end user perspective, if they have the capability to maintain the servers, they will go for it. If not, they will be dependent on the existing servers only. It's very pretty straightforward. Okay,
Yeah,
not
but
all of them have the capability to maintain the huge amount of the servers.
yeah, but they suggest, as a
Okay.
matter of fact, even the CEO of SAP, everyone is nowadays suggesting go for single instance. It
Right.
makes life easier.
Right.
Now my question is, let's talk about one particular company having different business segments. So obviously
Okay.
the company will go for different company codes.
Okay.
Now it has
Agree.
paper industry, and it has apparel industry. Okay, let's just limit into these two. It has paper industry, it has apparel industry.
Okay.
Obviously, the company code of paper industry will be different from company code of apparel industry.
Apparels. Obviously.
All right. Now, if that is the case, and in APAC, or even just for instance, let's consider they have opened their branch in Singapore. So there, they are having both the divisions, which is paper and apparel, but the end user who will log in from Singapore in the apparel industry will be different from the end user who will log in into paper industry.
It depends on the plant.
No, I'm not talking about plant, company code. Let's say 1 and 2, company code 1 and 2. So if I have to maintain a single instance SAP in both, then I will have only one production client.
Okay, right.
Now one production client for completely diametrically opposite business doesn't make sense to me. But what I would like to know from you, if at all that is possible, that if we can think of two scenarios, going for single instance at the same time going for multiple instance. So if I go for single instance, I will just have production client, let's say 210. So the guy logging from US is logging into client 210. Guy logging from Singapore is also logging into client 210. Of course, master data is different. Now, how you take care of that? If it is a single instance, are they not going to club?
That is the job of, I can simply say that is the job of the basis consultants, and how the business is monitoring or taking care of it, because it all depends on the business requirements. Suppose, if I am telling you, for my plants, for example, for a Singapore as well as for some other location, for Malaysia, Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
It all depends on the company, even though the client is accessing the server of the Singapore as well as the server of the Malaysia into the different client systems. He has the capability to access, right? It all depends on if the system has the capability. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening, Anvesh. I'm just listening. That's why I'm not replying.
Yes, if the system has the capability to maintain both of them at a single instance, yes, pretty much you can access. If not, if the business can able to capability to maintain the multiple instances, yes, they can pretty much go for it. It all depends on the business and how the basis people has configured the instances.
Can you tell me one thing, please? Let's not get into further details. From your real-time experience, because see, I haven't worked a single day in SAP. From your real-time experience, can you please share one knowledge? Like you work with different companies, different clients. So can you please tell me, most of the companies, they go for single instance or multiple instance?
See, I'm telling you, again I am telling you, it all depends on the project to project and the company to company. It will vary.
No, from your experience, you have come across, whatever you have come across.
I come across multiple, I come across single, I come across multiple at different companies, different projects. I am telling you, it's my real experience I am telling you. In my real experience, I come across both of them.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So
but
it's not like
finally, what you need to consider is at the end user perspective, how efficiently you can use the applications. That is what the business requirement is all about. Okay.
No, that is there. That is there. See, our company is struggling with its budget. Still, he will try to better his performance. Our company cash rich, very cash rich company. He will also not spend the money invest, right?
Okay.
So that is not the question. What I'm trying to understand more efficiently, how SAP can be installed in a multiple country kind of scenarios with multiple business line, whether they will go for single instance or multiple instance.
Okay. again I am telling you, again I am just reiterating the word which I told you, that here it all depends on the business and the capability of the client, which they have. The if he has the capability to maintain the different servers across the locations, yes, he can pretty much do that. If he is not, yes, he has to maintain that capabilities at the system and with the help of the basis level. The basis people has to configure the settings at the system level. I haven't worked
share from your experience that there is no hard and fast rule like that a company has to go for single instance. That's what you experience.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I experienced as well. Okay. So we have different types of consultants in SAP. Okay. One is functional consultants. We do have technical consultants. We do have networking consultants. What does the functional consultants will do? They will take care of the business. Okay. The technical consultants, what they will do? They will take care of the programming part as well as the networking part.
The development.
Yes, exactly. The functional consultants will take care of the real-time business scenarios, which is nothing but that they will take care of the business activities of the company. And coming to the technical consultants, they are responsible for developing the new programs. They are responsible for creating the new screens, new tables if they require, right? Suppose if the requirement matches with our existing layout, they can simply customize it, right?
Yes.
That is the job of technical consultants. Coming to the networking consultants, which are nothing but the basis people. What is their role? They will install the SAP GUI software into the system. They will configure the servers. They will maintain the servers. They will control the network traffic, right? They will provide or they will create the clients. They will maintain the clients. They will create the usernames and the passwords for you. Everything for each and every user, right? So all these operations will be part of the networking consultants. Okay. So as I mentioned, that ABAP stands for ABAP Advanced Business Application Programming Language. Our job is to, I will tell you what is the role of an ABAP developer or a consultant. Okay.
It's simple. I mean, development and enhancements as and when required.
No. Let me just complete. Okay. So the role of an ABAP consultant is he is going to develop FRICE W applications, which is nothing but he's going to develop a form, he's going to develop a report, he's going to develop an interface, he's going to develop a conversion, he's going to develop an enhancement, he's going to develop a form.
Yes.
Okay, all these are part of
that's right, sir.
The role of an ABAP. Right, exactly. Right, sir.
Understood. RISE W, as a matter of fact, if you just add workflow, then RISE W basically.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
So this is basically the role of an ABAP consultant. So in the forthcoming days, we'll go with the introduction part of the SAP, which is nothing but the introduction part of the programming rules and the naming standards, everything, each and everything in detail, so that a better programming guy, see, everyone will do programming, but why in the review phase you are getting a lot of concerns in the sense better programming is very essential. Better programming is very essential, right? So further, as a matter of fact, I am telling you, so we'll cover those things as well before we jump into the actual developing of either of these applications, either a report, interface, conversion, enhancement, or a form.
Yeah.
Okay. So already we covered the introduction part, right? What is introduction to the ERP? How evolution of the ERP comes into the picture? What is SAP and what are the related technical products which are available in the SAP? What is R3 architecture? And before that, I already gave you what is single tier architecture, two tier architecture, and three tier architecture as well. Okay, not only R3 architecture, right? So coming to the landscape, system landscape, I told you, right? Development, quality, and the production. Coming to the implementation and the life cycles, this will be coming up in the forthcoming sessions, because what is here in the sense we will cover up what are the different types of projects which we will work with. Okay.
Okay.
And here coming to the easy access, which is nothing but the login page. Okay, where as and when if you provide your credentials and if you log in, the main screen which is nothing but the easy access screen. Okay.
Right.
Next, coming to the introduction to the ABAP. So I already mentioned you yesterday itself, it's a business programming language. Okay. I told you about it's a fourth generation programming language. There are some limitations with the other programming language. So for that reason, it's purely business applications which we are dealing with, right? Understood? Does it make sense?
Yeah, no, Anvesh, don't take me wrong, please. Just walk me through the topics. I mean, you don't have to go into the depth.
Okay, okay, no worries. These are just the things which I just want to give you just for about a minute. That's it. Nothing more than
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Next. So those are not the basic constructs, which is nothing but the rules of the programming that I will cover it up. Yesterday only I covered two rules. One is nothing but ABAP is not case sensitive, it's space sensitive, right? Like kind of there are many rules which we can be follow up. Okay.
Okay.
And understanding of the data types and operators. What is the integer data type, character, like kind of we have different types, and operators, arithmetic operators, right? Relation operators, like kind of we have many. Okay. Control statements where we can control the logic. Okay. And the ABAP workbench, in the sense there are different types of tools we have. Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So, hello.
Yeah.
In general, we have two different types of objects, namely repository and the dictionary, and ABAP Workbench is part of the all different tools which involve over there. Okay. And coming to the package builder, it's nothing but a folder where you will save your files, just like you will save your documents, like movies, songs, right, in your computer, like kind of. It is also to save your programs in terms of a package. In software terminology, it is called as a package. Okay. Coming to the data dictionary, which is nothing but it's a database. Okay. How we can create a domain. See, I will tell you in depth about what is a domain data elements. Those are part of the, like how you can maintain that, how you can create a table in two different approaches. Okay. One is direct and the other one is that through the data element approaches, and this domain concept will be part of it. Okay. I will cover in depth as and when it comes into the picture, but for the time being, I am telling you data dictionary is nothing but we are dealing with the database. Okay. Tables. You can create a Z tables, which is nothing but the custom tables. Since we already have the standard tables which is provided by SAP, which is nothing but any ERP product which are available. But anyways, how we can create a table as well, since most of the times we never create the table, but if in case, if you have any context to create the tables, yes, I will show you that how we can create that. Okay? And
at the same time, are we going to, yeah, just one second. Here, are we going to see how I can extend any extending table? Existing table. How I can extend an existing table, let's say Mara or BSEC. This table is a requirement.
Very much you can do. That I will show you. That they haven't included, but that's what I'm telling you. It's huge in depth. There are many things which you can cover, and can't be provided everything in this. Okay. So for that reason, the thing which you asked me for the walkthrough is very good for you. Okay, so that I can just cover up like the things which you haven't have any queries in between. Okay, so and we have one more thing called structures, which is nothing but a single record. Table is nothing but it contains of multiple records. Okay, which is nothing but more than one. Okay, views. Okay, in general, table in the sense it related to a single database, but in the views we can maintain the data of multiple tables. Okay, coming to the table types. So table types in the sense it's just nothing but an internal table you can issue. Okay. There is better programming techniques are there where you have to declare with the table types, and thereafter you need to refer your declarations. Okay. Next, coming to the search help objects, which is nothing but as in suppose if you are filling a form. Okay. If you click on the button beside the input field, there it will show you the list of options. Like for example, you are filling your date of birth. It will show you the dates list of 1 to 30 and month April, Jan to December, right? So search help is nothing but it will show you the list of possible values in a box, in a pop-up. Okay.
All right.
Next, lock objects in the sense you can instruct the system and you can tell that system that you can lock the object for a certain period of time. Okay, it all depends on your context. Okay.
Right.
Next, coming to the structure definition of an structure. Come down. Can you just come down?
Yeah, sure.
Structure definition in the ABAP program. Okay, it's nothing but the things which we are creating at the dictionary level, database level, how we can declare it manually at the time of editor level. Okay, structure definition. It's just a syntax. Okay, there is nothing other than that. Structure is nothing but a work area. Okay, they have included in different things, but there is a synonym you can call it as. Okay, structure, work area, or a header. Okay, everything one and the same. Next, coming to the internal tables, as I told you, mentioned that it can accommodate multiple records. Operations on the internal tables. There are n number of operations which you can perform. Like you can insert a record on the internal table, right? You can sort the internal table, you can read the internal table, you can modify the internal table. There are many things, okay? Next, control break statements. As I mentioned here that somewhere control statements, those are one and the same. Control break statements, something like where the block of statements you can call, you can restrict. For example, for a purchase order, there have n number of purchase items, okay? And the next purchase, until and unless the next purchase order comes, it has to read all the items but not immediately jump on to the next purchase order, right? For a purchase order, it has to read all the purchase items, then only it has to jump to the next purchase order, right?
Yeah. So control break I understand because it's a simple programming application. You pretty much in every language you do have this feature.
Yes. Next, coming to the need for modulation techniques. Modulation is nothing but reusing things. There are different techniques in that, how we can reuse things, okay? Next, coming to the subroutines and function modules are part of the modulation, which is nothing but the function code modulation techniques, okay? Next, coming to the include programs and macros, those are called as the source code modulation techniques, okay? OpenSQL statements, which you already aware of. It select statements, there are different kinds which you can aware of, which you can incorporate it as and when required, okay? At different contexts, you can use different select statements. And coming to the joins, using multiple tables, you need to acquire multiple tables data. How you can do? By using joins. And insert statement, how you can insert a record, how you can modify a record, how you can, the code can be, unnecessary code has to be reduced, unnecessary code has to be removed, which is nothing but a performance tuning, where it will show you these are boss, these are the unnecessary things. These can be avoided by following this type of instructions, okay? Performance tuning and SQL both are one. Yeah.
Anvesh, can I interrupt just for a minute here? Okay, so here actually I had a confusion, and since you mentioned join, so what do you prefer actually, the join or for all entries? Which is a preferable?
For all entries. It depends on the context. Suppose I am fetching only from the two tables. If the data is not huge in volume, then I will go for the inner joins. Suppose if it's huge volume, no chance. I won't take chances. I will go for the for all entries, because the execution time, if it executes more than 10 minutes, it will go to the dump. It's not a better practice, right? Going to the dump.
That is what SAP guys tell. That is the theoretical
That's what I'm telling you. That is what I'm telling you. Suppose if the number of
real time. Yeah, but what I'm trying to tell you that in real time, people they do complain about this for all entries, because if I have to search, checking or considering every row from a table, so it will generate at the back end. If you do the trace, it will generate so many hundreds of SQL statements, which will be which will be a big performance hit. So people who are actually working, I have seen in forums like in SCN and in other forums, though for all entries is theoretically a preferred approach, but those who are actually working, working with real-time tables, they say or they recommend that it's a no-brainer. You simply use join instead of for all entries. That's why I've just wanted to clarify that issue. That we'll be seeing performance analysis.
Who told you that? If that is the person who told you that, the tool itself will. Yes. The tool. Yes, that's what I am telling you. The software which itself developed will give you what do you call? I can say that the warnings. Boss, these are not the recommended ones. You can use that. Okay. Everything.
No. I'm not getting into theoretical issues. I'm just from real life problem solving issue. I'm just asking.
Right. That's what I'm telling you.
Theoretically, you are right, and I am also right that everyone will recommend for all entries. But the pitfall is, as I told you, let's say in a table where you are using for all entries, there are let's say 1,000 records. All right.
We'll do it practically.
Now, for
shall we do it and prove it practically? Why can't we go in a theoretical approach? Shall we? You can learn it practically, and you can decide on your own. Okay. The articles which you read, is also some of the theoretical assumption only. You can test it. I will develop your.
If you want, I can forward the. If you want, I can forward the links. If you want.
Okay. See, there
because
are some
I bookmarked those pages. I bookmarked those pages, and I'm sure you will be covering this performance analysis, right? Whatever
Yes. Yes.
SQL trace or
Right.
nowadays they do it in a new way. That's what I have seen. So
I
anyway,
will.
from there you can find that so many SQL statements are getting generated at the back end, which will
Okay.
create a performance. Yeah, which will create a performance
As a
issue.
developer, your job is to handle them. Okay. As a developer, you have to control that. Okay. Until and unless everyone will develop the programs. As a better programmer, you have to follow the techniques. Right. Better programming standards you need to follow. That I will instruct you. Okay.
Okay, please go ahead.
Right. Next, coming to the types of the reports. What is the purpose of the using the reports? They are used for analysis purposes.
For managerial reporting.
In simple words, I can say that they are used for analysis purposes, right? There are different kinds of reports, namely classical, interactive, and ALV, okay, which is something that the ABAP is viewer, and there are several events which we use in that. In each and every reports, we will use different events, okay?
Right.
Those are they specifically mention that events in reporting. It is not like that in specific. It is part of each and every reporting. There are many events which we can handle, which we can make use of, okay? And I will show you the real-time objects, how we can develop a report, okay? Next, coming to the module pool programming. Module pool is nothing but you are working with the transactions, standard transactions, how you can enhance it, how you can create a custom transactions, how you can create a custom screens as well. Okay, coming to the file processing, the operations which you perform, read and write operations. Okay. Next, how you can place how you can working with the presentation server files in the sense, presentation server in the sense, your desktop, application server in the sense, the SAP system. Okay, how you can work with both of the files at different places. And coming to the batch data conversion or communication, which is nothing but you have a legacy system where the data has to be extracted into a file and the same data has to be uploaded into the SAP system, which is nothing but the conversion part. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, everything makes sense. That's fine.
Okay. Next, coming to the transaction recording using SHTB. Okay. Suppose I need to create vendor details. Okay. For me, for example, assume like I'm Infosys. Okay. My client is Apple. I need to provide my vendor details, which is nothing but the Apple, into my computer. Okay. So there are different types of information which I need to provide as part of the Apple, right? Which is nothing but what is the vendor name, where it is located, okay, what is the revenue. There are many different things which I need to incorporate, right?
Okay.
So if I need to do like kind of for n number of records, I mean to say that for n number of vendors, for example, assume like thousands of records I have. How much time will it take? It takes a lot of time, right? So there is something called as a recording where I will capture the screen steps, okay? I will do a record and I will instruct the system that, boss, for the millions of the records also follow the same approach. The screen and field information will be one on the same. Just need to place the fields at corresponding places. That's it. Okay? It saves a lot of time. And coming to the call transaction and the session method, there are different techniques to call a transaction. Okay? One is the call transaction method, the other one is the session method. Next, coming to the WAPI, which is nothing but this is also used for like uploading your data from the legacy system to the SAP system, but in a different approach. Okay? And coming to the SNW, legacy system migration workbench. So in general, as an ABAP developer, what you will do, you will develop the objects, right?
Yeah.
But in case, suppose as a functional consultant, you are not much aware of the coding. So there should be a tool to be useful for you to upload the data into the SAP system, right?
Right.
If it's there, that would be useful for other functional consultants as well, right? Not all of them can have the interest towards to learning the technicalities, right? So for that purpose, we have something tool called LSNW, which is nothing but the legacy system migration workbench. But the operation is all one and the same: BDC, BAPI, and LSNW. Okay. Next, we can see the objects, what we can develop under that. Okay.
Right.
Next, coming to the introduction to the business documents. Generally, if you are like what I can say that if you are booking a plane ticket, okay, there is a form will appear. There is a form will appear, which will be a standard format which particular airlines will follow. And if you go to the other airlines, there will be a different standard format which they will follow. So there are different business documents. I can say that we have a purchasing document, we have a sales order document, we have invoices. There are different types of documents we have, right? So there are different types of documents in the sense, different types of templates also which they will follow. It will vary in the templates as well, right? So we have something called as scripts, smart forms. Those are the tools which are nothing but useful for form designing. Okay, it is not like basics and advanced. We will club everything and we will cover as part of the certain.
So what do you mean by advanced here? Could you please tell me? Just a few lines.
There is nothing like that. Okay, this is the curriculum which might they have introduced, but there is nothing like that. I will tell you as and when required. Okay, what are the topics which are there, and how you can call a multiple windows. Okay, forms in the sense generally from the program, not only you can call a single form, you can call multiple forms as well. There are different things like that. They just simply segregated. I don't want to lag the content, but the things are very simple. They just segregated the topics individually. Okay, like I can simply say that A plus B equal to C in the sense they have mentioned A, B, C kind of.
I see.
Okay. Next, coming to the enhancements part. Enhancements in the sense there is a standard functionalities which are available for us, right, with the software, which is nothing but we have standard programs as well as the standard tables, standard screens, many things, right? Suppose I need to add some custom functionality to that. How you can do so? By using enhancements, you can achieve that. Okay. As part of the enhancements, we have user exits, customer exits, baddies, enhancements, bot, and BTS. BTS is already no one is using it industry at the market at present. Okay. Next, coming to the object-oriented.
So what do you mean by that, Anvesh? Which is, I mean, no one using, or I mean, here we will see, or no?
BTS, if you want, I will cover it, but it's of no use. Okay. There are important.
Practically. Okay.
Practically it's not useful for you. See, even though like whatever the industry needs, if you learn that, that will be useful for you. The useless content, even though you have the book with thousands of pages, whatever the useful content, if you can learn, that will be helpful for you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Next, coming to the object-oriented things, I can say that it's the heart. It's the heart of any programming language. Okay, there we'll discuss what about a class, how we can declare an object, how we can call the attributes, methods, everything. Okay. Right. Next, coming to the iDocs, I think it might not be possible with a single system. If they have the connectivity, if they have the provision to interconnect two systems, then we can achieve it. Okay, that we will see in the forthcoming session if it's possible or not. If not, also it's not a big deal. Okay.
Right.
But you have to learn the things whatever I have mentioned from the beginning till the end. There are lots of things you need to cover. Things seems to be like the wording which you already aware of it, but there is a lot to learn inside it. Okay. The things which we are going.
How many hours this is Anvil?
That all depends on your capability. I can say that. If you are going on a good pace, if you are in general, I'm telling you, if a good student, he can spend about 2 hours a day. We can complete in a month, not more than a month.
I see.
It all depends on the pace of the student. Okay.
Right.
Since you are already coming from the programming background, I don't think like it will be much difficult. But at the same time, like I will look into the initial sessions, how you can grabbing up the things and all. If you are well versed with that, yes,
no,
we will go.
Yeah, that is very true. Depends on the person's intake. But what I'm trying to know, because since you will be giving assignments, I need to finish those assignments, right?
Yes, you need to. That's your responsibility. That's not mine, right? My job is to explain you the contents, and I have to give you the assignments, and your job is to work on it.
Yeah, exactly so. That's why I'm saying that you should be somewhat flexible about the time, right?
Right.
There is a limit. There is a limit.
A limit in the sense, see,
that okay,
I can
it's done. 1 month, it's over. It's over.
Nothing like that. See, one thing I can truly have to tell you. Okay, so even though if the course completes, okay, if you have any issues over there thereafter, yes, I will be available. Okay,
I see.
that's the kind of assurance.
Yeah.